Yes sir, we're back at it again with another spectacular Spider-Man video, but we're here to talk about the legendary brawl between Peter Parker versus Venom. This man Eddie Brock is the embodiment of pure hatred. He wakes up early just so that he has extra time to hate. But before we jump into this video, if you guys don't mind smashing that subscribe button real quick so you do not miss any more spectacular Spider-Man videos, that'll help me out a lot, and it's also free to subscribe. So the scene kicks off with Peter Parker getting ready to leave his house so that he can go check in with Aunt May at the hospital. And this man really thought that it would be a normal day, but what he didn't know was that Eddie Brock had different plans for Spider-Man today. Out of nowhere, Spider-Man gets grabbed by his back and gets tossed onto the concrete. Like, dog, this is actually crazy. This man Peter really isn't safe anywhere he goes, not even in his own backyard. Like, he didn't even have time to put on his mask, and Venom is already spawn camping him at his own property. Like, Eddie Brock, I promise you, it's not that serious. Like, go find a hobby or something. Go color a book or draw a painting, I don't know. Venom pulled up on Spider-Man with straight evil intentions because he backhands him, had that boy laying on the floor like LeBron James after being eliminated from the playoffs, and then Venom grabs Spider-Man by the shoulders and smacks him onto the wall. But then Venom tries going in for a punch, but he says, nope, not today. So Spider-Man starts questioning how the symbiote got unleashed, and he tells us that he destroyed it for good. But hold on, I don't think he actually got rid of the symbiote, because all they did was place it inside of a container to where Venom took control of Eddie Brock.
Congratulations, you played yourself.
Spider-Man rushes in for an attack, but he instantly gets grabbed by his head like a grape getting ready to be squashed. And then Venom says, hold this three-piece combo. Then puts his head on the ground, and I don't know why Venom was hovering over Spider-Man like this. Like, you are not Diddy, but I'ma let it slide for the one time. And Venom recognized that Peter Parker is indeed Spider-Man, so he tells him that he's gonna try his hardest to ruin his life and do whatever he can to make everything harder for him, talking about how he's poison to both Peter Parker and Spider-Man.
Huh?
Like, bro, this episode really went from 0 to 100 real quick, no Drake. Like, it really started off as a peaceful episode and then turned into nothing but straight violence. And Peter Parker definitely smelled Venom's stank at breath, so he webs him in the face, then says, catch this elbow, and how about a donkey kick? And we see that Venom is clearly blind, but instead of going in for a few close combat attacks, this man Peter sells the bag completely and webs him for the second time. And yeah, this is where things go from north to south real quick. Venom breaks out of Spider-Man's webs and then slings him towards himself and then serves him up with a scrumptious knuckle sandwich. But Spider-Man says shmoing, 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 and eats that up with no problem, cause he gets back up and hops onto Venom. But right as we all thought he was about to cook, he gets completely manhandled and karate kicked straight into the trash. And I'm not gonna lie, at this point,
it's not looking good, bruv. It's not looking good.
So Venom proceeds to wrap Spider-Man around like he's an ancient mummy, and then he tells him that he's gonna make him suffer a little bit longer before packing him up. Like, bro, you can't convince me that this is not D1 level of hating. Someone give Venom a medal for this performance, the greatest hater of the century. And Venom said he was trying to get personal with Peter Parker, cause he's like, after all, we know who you are and everyone you care about.
Whoa, calm down, Jamal. Don't pull out the 9.
And while I'm watching this, I'm just telling Spider-Man through my screen to get back up and stop Venom before he goes on a 500 kill streak and takes out all of New York. But all I can say is that you're in real trouble, Peter Parker. So Venom rolls up on Aunt May at the hospital, and I really thought this would be Green Goblin traumatizing Aunt May all over again, but this version of Spider-Man is never gonna let that slide because he lands on Venom and gets to throwing out hands immediately. And my guy Peter Parker told Venom that he does not play around when it comes to family. He said, you're gonna have to get by me first like it's a final boss battle. So Spider-Man dives in like Rod Wave jumping into a pile of Big Macs with extra cheese and barbecue sauce added on the sides, and then Venom says weave, gives him a vicious gut punch into an uppercut, and then smacks him against the wall. Like, yo, this man Venom is a freak. What is he trying to do with Peter? I thought y'all were trying to fight. Spider-Man and Venom drop down one story below, and then he jumps over his back and tries webbing him behind himself, but Spider-Man must have forgot that Venom weighs like 300 pounds. He has the same build as Queso. He should have already knew those webs were gonna do absolutely nothing. Venom effortlessly swings Spider-Man onto the wall, and I don't know how his back isn't broken after all these blows from Venom. But I know one thing for sure, that Spider-Man suit must be working overtime to keep Peter's bones from not shattering into 50 million different pieces. So Venom goes in for a Hulk smash, but Spider-Man says he's out of there ASAP, and then Venom webs Spider-Man in the face so that he can go back up to Aunt May and try and catch her lacking in her hospital bed. But Spider-Man said today was the wrong day to mess with him. Venom should have waited until his aunt recovered and made it home. But anywho, Spider-Man puts Venom into a chokehold and gives him a few punches. So then they both go at it for a little while, and this man was really about to snap Peter in half like a pencil, but then Venom spares his life by throwing him downwards, and then he tells him that he's after his snow bunny, Gwen Stacy. And if you guys have seen the Spider-Man movies, you know that if it's any version of Spider-Man, the only thing they care about most is their girl.
Has to put it up with the buzzer. Bounce it in!
And before we get into the main course, might as well hit that subscribe button if you made it this far. It doesn't hurt to press that button. So Spider-Man pulls up to the parade and he sees Mary Jane hanging out with the Flash, and I know he was in utter shock after seeing MJ with another man this week. Like bro, wasn't she just with Eddie Brock the other day? She really be getting passed around more than Kevin Durant. She can't stick to one guy at once. Spider-Man sees Gwen Stacy being tied up and being held hostage by Venom, but right as he was about to go in to save her, he gets absolutely bodied by Venom. And all I can say is that Peter's spidey senses must have took a day off of vacation or something, because how did he not see that one coming? Like that was so obvious, even I would have sensed Venom.
Stop the cap.
And yo, here's the funny part, cause Spider-Man tells Eddie to stop causing all this destruction because the symbiote is trying to take control over him. But Peter didn't know that this man literally chose to be Venom. Like he wanted to gain all of these superpowers just so that he can go after Peter Parker. Like Eddie Brock is literally on the same level of hating as Kendrick Lamar when it comes to hating on Drake. And as soon as Spider-Man heard that Venom wanted nothing but straight smoke with him, he decided to swing his way off of the rooftop thinking he was about to get off easy. And Venom said he was trying to play Angry Birds with Spider-Man because he catapulted Spider-Man back onto the fighting arena, had that boy stumbling after getting severe brain damage from Venom's attacks. And Venom started thrashing around Spider-Man even though he tried talking it out with Venom like a good person, but he was not trying to hear anything Spider-Man wanted to say. He only came for his get back after how Peter bullied him in the last episode. So Spider-Man makes his way to Gwen Stacy, but then Venom appears out of nowhere like he's playing a game of Baldi's Basics, and then he starts choking the life out of Spider-Man. Like bro, let him go save Gwen Stacy. What do you gain from torturing Spider-Man? Like Eddie Brock is actually a cornball because he even unmasks himself just to give Peter a whole villain speech that clearly none of us wants to hear. And Spider-Man had enough with Venom, so he kicks him away and goes to rescue Gwen Stacy for like the third time. And Venom tried slamming Spider-Man, but all it did was make him bounce around on the balloon. Like Venom really fell for the easiest trick in the entire book because Spider-Man said, "Come rip off my suit."
What do you mean by that?
And then Venom tries clawing onto Spider-Man, but he says,
You're too slow!
Venom slowly crawls up to Spider-Man and gives him a Mike Tyson uppercut, only for Spider-Man to web downwards and catch Gwen Stacy just in time before this happens to her. And I'm not gonna lie, you gotta give respect for the type of hate Venom has for Spider-Man, cause he swoops in and grabs him, which results in Gwen Stacy falling to the ground. But Flash, being a real one, picks up the assist for Spider-Man and gives her a soft landing. So Venom rushes in with a left hook, but Peter says weave, backflip, and then he webs Venom to the other side, slamming him into a metal fence, had him screaming like this. Venom gets back up and tosses him into the air just for him to be tossed straight to the pavement, and he had my boy Spider-Man tasting nothing but the flavor of the bricks. And Venom said he's not finished because he grabs Spider-Man and then flings him onto the rooftop. Then Spider-Man gets on his knees, and initially when I was first watching this, I thought he accepted his fate and gave up, but he really used his 500 IQ because watch what he does. He tells the symbiote inside of Venom to return back to Spider-Man because he knows that it wants to be reunited back with its first partner. So it actually somehow works and the symbiote slips off of Eddie Brock. So Brock falls to the ground, and I know after all that fighting that boy is tired from all the physical exercise, but then right as the symbiote is about to take control of Peter Parker, they have a little conversation, and the symbiote suddenly realizes that this was all a trap and that Peter wanted nothing to do with him this entire time. Peter Parker puts up some barriers in order to prevent the symbiote from entering his body, and the episode ends with Peter Peter capturing it inside of a bag and getting rid of it permanently by draining it inside of a construction site. But yo, here's the real question. Is the symbiote really gone for good? So yeah, that's the end of the video, and if you guys enjoyed, make sure to smash that subscribe button for more spectacular Spider-Man videos, and I'll catch you guys later. I'm out.